Greetings, humans. Hello, CCT Mitch. Hello, Michael. How are we going today? Hopefully well. And to answer your question, Mitch, yes, it did steam well yesterday. I managed to maintain pressure all day, had good fire, plenty of water. Even went out with the person that we've now describing as Resting Face Graham, because when you look to his eyes to see, am I doing something wrong? You get nothing. Nothing at all. All right then. Welcome to the universe. We have Michael on chat today. Say hello, Michael. It'll be a little while before Michael says hello. And then we're going to get into the Huddersfield Line. So if you don't know how streams work, there's always a bit of a delay. When I say something before Michael hears it, then he responds, and then it comes out on the stream. So it always seems a little awkward, but that's okay. And while that's happening, just finish setting up my monitor, because just like I said to Michael that there'd be something I'd forgotten, I had.
Hello.
There he is. Interestingly, apparently, I've just added 2 new videos to YouTube in the last minute. That surprises me just a little bit. Not quite sure about that. But that's okay. It's all good. It's all good. All right, we're going to look at the Huddersfield Line today. No great surprises there. And, you know, we're going to start with something that's red. We have to. Donk. It was a fun day out on the rock burner yesterday. It was a good day. I was out with Graham and Stephen. Mitch will know who I'm talking about. No one else will. And that's okay. Having battled to bring this train up from Liverpool Lime Street. Really? Did we battle? I don't know. We'll be taking over the Pennines in this horrendous weather. Please allow passengers to board here before departing. Signal allowing 1628. Is that English? Departing signal allowing at 1628. Oh, you mean I can depart at 1628 if the signal's green. Right, good, just say that. Be aware that an early running freight service is being passed ahead of us. Yeah, freight ahead of passenger. Good plan. All right, let's get this thing turned on and get the doors open. If I remember rightly, this has to be in forward to open the doors. Doors are now opening. Oh, I didn't start the rail driver software. I'm going to have to drive with keyboard for hours. Damn it. Oh well. I mean, I could just start it again, but no. Oh, no. Haven't quite turned everything on yet. I want... yeah, I reckon night headlights. It's a bit dark, and we probably don't want tail lights. So we are in a 158, which is a funny looking yellow thing. See? Funny looking yellow thing. Brit trains are always kind of interesting to me because they've got the corridor door up the middle. We just don't do that, so it always seems a bit weird. And these things sound remarkably like, and they are actually called a Sprinter, and I have to say they sound and look remarkably like, but without the door, a thing that we have here that we call a Sprinter, but they've been replaced by Flirts. So there's still a few Sprinters around, but they're at end of life. Welcome to the stream, people who are watching. And just a reminder, if you look at the little bar down the bottom of your screen where it says live, if it doesn't say, if it's not a red indicator on live, then you're probably behind the time, and you can just click that thing. Sounds like our doors are closing, but we can't go anywhere yet because our signal is still red. Thanks, guard. Guard just gave me a buzzer, but I can't really go just yet. Let's have a look in the passenger space while we're waiting. He's going to get a sore neck, that bloke, staring out the window like that. Got a couple of ladies over there. Can't turn around all the way. That's okay. Has their signal changed yet? No. Hello, NJTE. How are you? My voice sounds very deep and radio announcey today. Maybe I should do some recordings. Still waiting for a red signal up there. So I've got DRA turned on. No doubt I will forget that I've got DRA turned on, and we'll try and drive. What can we do over here? Anything? Not much. Oh well. Ah, signal. That's a strange horn, isn't it? Alright, brakes off. And power. More power. More power. I know not to give this thing too much power, because you see these wonderful two little lights here that say transmission fault? They'll come on and then I'll be stuffed. So I'm going to be following our little freight train, and judging by the signal, have I got my cursor turned on? No, I don't. That's good. Judging by that signal, we will be changing tracks, so I'll have to keep my speed down. Not that that's very difficult, because I'm driving a snail. I suspect that's why this scenario is so long. NJTE says, fun facts, the 158s and 159 saved regional railways. Their luxurious interiors and 90-mile-an-hour top speed revitalised the ignored part of the BR network. Well, there you go. That's good. Wonder if we've got through those points on the back yet. And CCT Mitch says, I see some content has been ported over from TSW for the route, apparently. It says the Mark II coaches had been moved over from TSW. Yeah, they probably grabbed the 3D models, but the rest of it, all of the way it works and everything, would be totally different. Happy 100th birthday to Flying Scotsman too. That is today. It's kind of cool. Everybody's going crazy over this locomotive that's made 100 years, but I have to say our little railway has 5 active locomotives over 100 years old. Actually, 2 of them aren't active at the moment. They're being worked on. I would be guessing that we are now past the back of that point, but I can't check. But we're going to speed up anyway. Ah, a yellow signal. Fantastic. We're still going to speed up. Now it puts me out. So it gives me an AWS and it puts me out. And, of course, it's giving me a penalty brake because it threw me out to the back of the train. Now, I should be able to accelerate again. No. So I pressed 3 to go out to the back of the train, just as AWS sounded, and I can't acknowledge it from outside the train on this one. Timing, huh? Oh well. Now we can go look at the back of the train. Yeah, G42 isn't far off. All of the NAs have reached their 100th birthdays. Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. And 6 is sitting in the workshop at the moment being put back together. And we've got 8 and 12 and 14 in traffic right now. They're all getting boiler tests next week. On Thursday. Actually, Mitch, if you wanted an entertaining day around the railway or an interesting day around the railway, see if you're allowed to jump in the cab for the boiler tests, because they'll be steaming up 5 locos and testing them all. Oh, how did you get through? And JTE has another one of his fun facts. Network Southwest was the only profitable subsidiary of British Rail. Regional Railways was definitely not profitable since it ran on quieter lines. Intercity just revives money. I don't actually know how that bot got through, to be honest, because it matches some of the dictionary words that I don't allow. But that's okay. And then a repeater here, the banner repeater says green ahead. So we should be all good. I should actually turn on the F3 HUD, because I don't know where the stations are on this route. 15 miles away. Very good. Yes, there will be 5 locos in steam, Mitch. Because they're getting their boiler tests. I don't know what the 5th one is. But yeah, something that's capable of steaming. Could be the climax. It would have to be about due for it. Cruising along through the Pennines. I took a little bit of a chance streaming this one because it's sort of a twilight-ish one, but it looks okay so far. As long as it doesn't get dark, it'll be fine. Face cam. Face cam. Hello, head. I had it turned off because I was recording something before and I didn't turn it back on again. That's okay. Or not. Yeah, one loco is being tested and then it's taking out its train. And CCT Mitch says it might be worth dragging 861 down from Menzies Creek. Yeah, it's possible. I suspect it's Climax, though, because Climax is in Belgrave at the moment. And it's getting ready for its big run, which is that next week? I think it is next week. No doubt all the Gunzels will be out, unlike when it moved down from Menzies Creek, because no one knew. Apart from me, because I was there. Zorbsy, hello. This looks great. What's the difference between TSC and TSW? They're probably, on a simulation perspective, they're probably both fairly similar. Physics is probably a little better most of the time on Train Sim World, but not always. The physics system in TSC is very simple. The graphics in TSC are very simple, but even though I'm an ambassador, there are plenty of times when the graphics on TSC, green on the banner. I wonder why there's a banner signal there when you can actually see the main signal at the same time you can see the banner signal. That's just weird. Yeah, so probably better physics on TSW, and we've got a yellow. No, it's just gone green. TSW, you can get out and walk around. You can't do that in TSC. You can fly around in TSC, outside your train. And TSW is actually running the entire timetable all the time, whereas TSC is only running the specific trains programmed in the scenario. So there's not really a dispatch system or anything like that. Bridgeborn. Come on, catch up with it, catch up with it. Why is my flight camera so slow? Oh well, we got to see the bridge anyway. It's all good. And TSW runs on consoles and PC. TSC is only PC. I'm going to ignore that 15 that's coming up on the HUD. Say hello to your mate going past there. And this signal was yellow. It went green just as I looked up at it, so that's a good thing. That does mean that we're not far behind that freight train, though. And I am deliberately ignoring the 15, because it only matters if you're coming off a siding. This one, in fact. Looks like we're being allowed to pass the freight train that got passed out in front of us. That's good. Just past a British Rail 47 with the opposing arrows logo. Back in a tunnel. Zorbsy got into these through TSW too, so he's still learning about all the versions, yeah. Train Simulator Classic, its roots go all the way back to the original, which is Microsoft Train Simulator, which came out in 2001. At a point in time, that kind of became Railworks. There is some shared code between them. There is some Kuju code. In fact, there's a little bit of Kuju code still in TSW. Not much, a little bit. It's, I can actually tell you what the code is. Well, actually, I can't really tell you what the code is, but you're looking at it. Just saying. Right now. Oh, we're allowed to go faster. Fantastic. And eventually Train Simulator became Train Simulator Classic because people were confusing it with Train Sim World, so... And I think Dovetail got a little tired of all the different versions as well. So this was TS 2022, just before it became Train Sim Classic. Now we have a slow section coming up. I better deal with that. Bit of light braking, maybe. Fortunately, I can remember how to do it with a keyboard. Because I foolishly didn't start my rail driver drivers. Lighting or lightening? No, the bit that's from Railworks is actually the rain on the windscreen. AWS warning there for the reduced speed zone. Now we'll just roll through the 45 and we can speed up again. Northern Illinois Train Spotting wishes there was a Train Simulator 2023. We're driving it, you nuffy. You may recall there was a new release. It would have been TS 2023, but they called it Train Simulator Classic instead. The lighting in TSW is a total rewrite from TSC, because the lighting's done by the Unreal Engine, whereas in this it's done by the game engine. TSC is pretty good graphics for an engine that is essentially 20 years old. It's pretty tight corner. I had a little test play of this scenario just to make sure my setup was working on Friday night, and I launched the train at that corner. Oh, you're talking about the TSC lighting? No, they're totally different in JTE. Oh, yeah, TSC lighting came from Railworks, but it also came from MSDS. It is the same code. Yeah, I thought you were saying that the TSW lighting came from Classic, but no, it doesn't. I thought that red signal was on my track then and just about had a heart attack. It's okay, mine's green. It's all good. Alright. Kiss goodbye to Marsden. Off we go. Back of the train should be well past that 45 marker now. It's always weird when you do that. And Northern Illinois is going train spotting again tomorrow. How about that? What a surprise. That might be true where you are, Northern Illinois train spotting, but it's certainly not true in the rest of the world. I know people from America think they are the entire world, like World Series Baseball, World Series Football. There's no one else in it, but that's okay. There will be a very narrow history for diesels in our future. All the big players have committed to getting rid of them by 2035 now. It says Scarborough on the back. What does it say up the front? It says Scarborough on the front too. I thought it said something else before. That's okay. Look at that, horizontal snow. And I'm not paying attention to my speed, and I should be. Because I was going a little bit quick. It's okay. Slow down before the corner. It's all good. This train doesn't have any kind of dynamic braking. Ooh, bouncy. Is it only Illinois that's dumping daylight saving, or the whole country? Because here it's state by state. Some do it, some don't. I personally think daylight savings is a stupid idea. So, I guess congratulations on getting rid of it. As we continue our roll downhill on the 1 in 104 gradient, which isn't very steep. Bit of a speed dip coming up. It's so American having a therapist. See you when you come back, Michael. Keep the brakes on, I think, for that 35 warning. We are coming into Huddersfield in just a moment. NJT says this is the 10th anniversary of Superstorm Sandy. Yeah, that was the one that filled up the New York subway tunnels and the Amtrak tunnels with water, wasn't it? We've just had a very large rain event here, and about half of our state's underwater at the moment. I live near the beach on a hill on sand, so the water just disappears here. It's a non-issue. No, it wasn't about half the size of Australia in JTE. Australia's bigger than America, remember that. Half the size of Australia would have covered half your country. Probably more, actually slightly more than half your country. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Huddersfield. Please collect your belongings and your children and take them off the train with you if you're leaving us here. Thank you for riding. I hope you enjoyed your stay today, as we enjoyed being ridden by you. Anything you leave behind will be sold. And that's Huddersfield. Now, interestingly, yeah, I think my signal's the one on the left. There's a little less stuff in Huddersfield than when I was last here. When I was last here, there was some 08s pottering around. Comes another 158. Yeah, but no one lives in Alaska, mate. And you want to work on your geography a little bit. Why am I in emergency? How did I get an emergency? Now, did my doors actually shut? They did. Alright, so just while that's cruising out, let me show you something. This is called Mercator Maps, okay? This is Australia, right? So if I drag Australia over here, look at that, it's bigger than America. Sorry. Hate to burst your bubble. Hello, Annie Canny. So you had a different name before, didn't you? Are we actually up to that? Well, we are. Yeah, rear train has cleared it. We can go up to 40. It's all good. You know me, you can gratuitous bridge and viaduct shots. It has to be done. The snow is enormous. It's like the size of someone's head. Maybe it's meteors falling to Earth, being shot at us by aliens. Must get aliens into every stream. You guys know that. The people who make those largest country things forget that the world is a sphere and that it is not flat. It is a little bit dark, yes. Just a little bit. It's a twilight one. In winter time, in a snowstorm, as we head off to Leeds, 15 miles away. Hello, Jonah. How are you? Which I shouldn't say the world is a sphere. It's not quite. It's a squishy sphere. In fact, I actually don't think America's even third largest by population. I suspect it's China followed by India followed by Russia, would be my bet. And a pretty big gap between China and India, and another pretty big gap between India and Russia. India is a very interesting country. Keep your eye on it. It's developing very, very quickly. Northern Illinois train spotting. You can actually change an already live video to be a premiere, you know. Change it to private and then change it to premiere. So you don't have to re-upload them. Unless that only works when you're in your YPP, that is possible. There are some functions that aren't general populace. Yeah, I know you've got about 400 million people in JTE, but China's got 4 billion. And India's got about 3 billion. So there's just a small difference in numbers there. It's only one order of magnitude. That's okay. Coming up in Murfield. And I didn't want to run too fast because this corner's a bit rough. Let's go stand with the people at Murfield. No train for you. Sorry. Not sorry. Hello, Brad MacArthur. Oh, mine definitely isn't bigger. Australia's a baby country. And Northern Illinois train spotting? No, because I don't look at them. Don't forget Russia's not just Russia and JTE, it's a whole lot of other countries added together as well. So look up all of the stands and add them together. Doesn't Bart run left rail on Northern Illinois train spotting? Look it up. Most Australian passenger runs left rail, where a lot of our freight runs right rail. UK, they run left rail. Hi, bye, Ravensthorpe. Indonesia does have a large population. And it's thousands of little islands and a couple of big ones. China would tell you that Mongolia was part of China, just like China would tell you Taiwan's part of China. Gratuitous bridge shot. Not that it's really worth a screenshot today, because it's dark. But that's okay. Starting to climb in the hills now. Heading our way up to Leeds. I kind of thought that Dovetail would have released their new Flying Scotsman today. But they've got it at the exhibition, letting people play it. But they didn't actually release it yet. Live. We'll have a look at it when it comes out. Couldn't be that far away. And it runs on East Coast Main Line. Which I'm pretty sure I've got. I think. I better check. I said there's some more people watching. Welcome to the stream. It goes to Leeds. And I think effectively it comes from Manchester. So it's a pretty decent size. It's a fair bit of a route, so there's quite a lot to it. And we're up this end of it at the moment, heading up here. I couldn't tell you whether the scenery is anywhere near right or not, because I don't know it. I'm not living there. But, yeah, it's fun enough to run. The scenarios are reasonably engaging. There's plenty of AI traffic when you're running scenarios. Always good to see. Nothing more boring than being out on the rails by yourself. It does have a few very long tunnels, like this one. Not as many as Wurzburg, perhaps, but a few. Just slowed for that 55 coming into Morley. It comes with the 03 shunter, which I believe is new to Train Sim Classic. I haven't seen it on any other route if it's not new. So it may exist, but I think it's a new one. It is drivable. I made a scenario to drive it the other day. We also have the 08 in this one, which is also drivable. There's no scenarios for either the 03 or the 08, but you can easily make them in TSC. And it has the 142/144, which is the pacer. And the 158, which is what we're driving now. So the Pacer and the 158 are both diesel multiple units. Hello, Morley. How are you? And it also has various flavours of the 47. So I think there's three different liveries of the 47. There's the BR double arrow. There is a red one, which is reminiscent of the unlicensed GBRF. The Pacer is, in fact, a bus, yes. If you'd like to have a look at the Pacer, we can have a look at after it. I have a look do this one. It even looks like a bus. So if you look inside this one, these look like, you know, pretty average train seats, really. But when we see the Pacer, well, isn't it funny that all of these people are studiously not looking at each other? I might want some windscreen wipers. When we look at the Pacer, you'll see that it's quite different. Since we're almost at the end of this scenario. And they said it was 80 minutes long, so it's, what, it's coming up on 45, so it's certainly not 80 minutes long. Because it only goes to Leeds, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's it. Yeah, it does look and sound like a bus. Good old-fashioned crash gearbox. I think they're a mechanical drive too, Brad. With a gearbox. We have one locomotive like that. One of the locos we've got on our railway is almost identical to the 03. I hopped into the 03 cab and I went, oh, it's D21. All of the diesels on our railway are imaginatively named D and a number. They're not allowed to have names. I better start slowing down for the approach to Leeds, I suppose. Probably not that much, though. And we have a yellow in the distance up there. Acknowledge the AWS. I just slowed a bit down a bit more because that's yellow. Can't tell from a distance whether it's a double yellow or a single. Of course, we can zoom in with the magic of technology. Looks like a double. Ladies and gentlemen, shortly we'll be arriving in Leeds. Please gather your belongings and your children and take them with you. We don't want them. It always gets a little bit messy when you leave them behind. Who knows what the future may bring in JTE? Thank you, AWS. Yeah, our yellow has gone green. That's okay. We'll just keep rolling because we have to slow down more soon anyway. As we cruise into the fine city of Leeds. Under the overhead. That's one thing that the route could have had, I suppose, is an electric train just for this end. Probably as AI only, because you wouldn't be able to go very far. Sounds like the AI 158 went full fang as he passed us. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? Game over error. Get what now? That's a bit boring. That was an AI train, I think. 2 AIs crashed into each other. Let me just grab a snip of that, because I will report that. Because that's a bit uncool, really. That's okay. Well, we almost got to Leeds, folks. Almost. Nearly. There we go. I've just saved that off. Well, that brings us to... Let's have a quick look at the Sprinter. I don't think we'll run a full Sprinter run, because to be honest with you, it's boring. That's okay. Not here to drive a bus with railway wheels. But let's have a look. Good morning, driver. Today you'll be operating this 6-car Class 158. Did I pick a 158 again? Oh, what a wally. I did. Ah, funny. Quit. Yes. Korea. Pacer. There we go. I picked the wrong one. This is better. Alright, welcome to the Pacer. Now I've got to remember how to turn this on. I don't think there's a master key on this one. I should better just open the doors, I think. Yes, I can. Headlights. Don't need wipers. We can press our little buzzer. Here it works. Instrument lights. Oh, one thing in the 158, don't press compressor speed up because it kills the train. Just saying. What's down there? Reverser? We need that. Oh, that's right. It doesn't animate. I'm only going to forwards. Come on. Probably want a little bit of brake on. Come on. Go into forwards. Oh, that's right. There is a master key. Oh, look at that. The patch fixed it. The patch fixed it. The master key animates and the switch animate now. Yay. Master keys are essentially an English thing in JTE. Most operators don't have them. They might have a brake key. But most trains don't have keys. Well, here is our little bus. They even look like a bus. With its 2 axles. In the passenger space, they are very bus. Sounds like our doors are shut. It's time to go. They are. Okay. Are we ready? Let's enjoy the power of the Pacer. Am I going backwards? Damn it. I selected reverse, didn't I? Why is my key not applying the brakes? Does it not have standard brake keys? I did select reverse. What a wally. Funny. Oh, the brake keys are backwards. Release applies and apply releases. Okay. That's cute. And away we go. Why do you think I know the Pacers were actually a stopgap thing, but I doubt they were intended for a short lifetime. No railway builds things for a short lifetime. This Pacer has flats. Can you hear that? Clack, 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 clack. Well, I don't know why you think the high-speed trains were a stopgap. It's the other curb. I don't know that they were a stopgap, NJTE. No one spends millions and millions of dollars on a train to be a stopgap. But the APT was supposed to come along, but yes, it didn't. Mainly because it made people throw up. They didn't quite have the tilting technology right. We've come out of the 30 zone now. I have learnt the hard way to power this up slowly. Next tunnel, please. It's perfect for streaming so many tunnels. It's really good. There was only one APT built, I believe. The trial one. And this, folks, is a pacer on absolute full howl. It is accelerating slowly. So this has got 142 and 144. The one in the back is the 144. There are two cars in the back. I wonder if the cabs are different. Let's go have a look. No, they look the same. Yeah, they're all the same. And guess what? You can actually press this button. You can turn off your train. Still accelerating. We're outrunning the climb slowly. On our way to Straithwaite. Do you think Daryl lives there? There's a question. Does Daryl live in Straithwaite? Uh-oh. I've got headlights on the back. I should probably go fix that, shouldn't I? Yeah. I can't change them. Okay. I won't then. You want to turn off the pacer? Well, just so you can see it happen. Whee! Uh-oh. Dead pacer. The only camera angle out of TSC... I have to wait for it to stop now. What would happen if I tried to start it when it was moving? Who knows? Let's try. Yeah, it works. I think in reality that would launch your gearbox out through the roof. But that's okay. Wasn't that lack of groaning noise peaceful for a little while? I think just, Zorby, I think the only camera angle that TSW doesn't have is number 4. So this one. This one's it follows your train, but it tracks it like a rail fan would. And probably about 60% of the time it picks an overhead view for no readily apparent reason. Oh, there's a 158. And we are almost in Straithwaite. So we'll just start slowing down for that. Not actually sure how good its brakes are. We'll see. Actually, yeah, its brakes aren't bad, I have to say. Ooh, excuse me. The other, well, one difference between the cameras, Sorbsy, is you can actually get really far away from the track in TSC. Whereas in TSW, you can't do that. Hello, Joe. How are you? How was your curry? And have you noticed the Pacer has the headlights on at both ends, Joe? It's a silly thing. Engine ATE thinks that Northern Illinois is going to film the electric trains. I think he'd rather die. That should do. Now it's got little lights that come on the sides. That's good. We are now in Straithwaite, where I was wondering if Darryl lives. What if the buttons work? No. Alright, off we go. Listen to that raw power of the Pacer. You know, that just has to be German techno. Nothing else causes that reaction. And he's clearly loving it. Hello, Richard. Yes, bus trains. Such delightful things. We just discovered that you can turn them off and turn them back on again while you're driving. And they don't explode. Life's like that. Ah. Canals. Are there any long boats? Oh, you wouldn't be able to get boats through here, would you? Because of the little bridges. They're a bit low. I guess this is not used for actual boats anymore then. That's a bummer. That's what we need. Canal simulator. Perfect. I like it when I fluke a timing like that. Are there any Pacers still in use now, Richard? And it is kind of surprising that something's built on a bus frame actually survives on railways. Vibrations are different. 1.3 miles to Marsden. Wonder how they manage them in the timetable, because they'd have, hey, we've got these trains that can do 90 miles an hour, and we've got these ones that are lucky if they get to 55 before they have to slow down again. At least they have AWS, which is good. Or TPWS it is, actually. NJT says the last pacer retired in May of 2020. Actually, I remember that. They went to some railway museum. And they took on a couple of them. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now arriving at Marsden. If you are leaving us here, take your stuff with you. Look around under your seat. That's probably where your mobile phone is. Yeah, it's one of those things. I think people laughed when the tourist railway picked them up. But, you know, they're part of history. Do you mind not standing on me? It's always funny if you do go out somewhere trying to video a train. There is always some nuffy that just walks up and stands in your shot. It just always happens. And you might have been there for ages and ages and ages because you knew something was coming, so you went to a particular location and you set up, and you've got a clear line of sight, you've got a really nice composition and the light's fantastic, and just as you get there, there'll be someone named Barry that comes and stands right in front of you. I like the canal that follows this line. I just wish it had some boats on it. That would be cool. Hello, Davidoff. How are you? Back in the long tunnel. So while we're in the tunnel, before we were up here, up on the top right. I am good, thank you. And we'll probably do something down the bottom at some point, but right now we're in the middle. In here. Here's our little train here. So I'm guessing by your channel name that you love the 377, David Off. Just a little bit. Yeah, thanks, Richard. I have to talk to the railway about that. Because I would actually like to set up a little camera in the cab, but I don't know if they'll let me. No, I meant your username, DavidOff377GTUK. It just makes me think you like the 377 train. But yes, this route has the 158. I can always film outside the cab, that's not an issue at all, but I need permission to film inside. I would also need permission from my crew of the day, because not everybody likes it. It's like most railways, video from inside the cab of a train is actually a little bit unusual, and generally speaking, if you can see them from the passenger space, it's fine, but most train organisations don't like having cameras in their cabs. Because even though we're a heritage railway, we operate under the same rules as everybody else. And if anybody in the cab did something wrong and it was on video, there would be problems. Bit bouncy on the corners there. I mean, I can put a little camera up on the roof of the cab and make my own videos for me, but publishing it's a very different thing. No one would care if I stuck a little magnetic camera up somewhere to do it for me. Ooh, locks. I do have this grand idea at some point of visiting the UK and renting a narrowboat as a holiday. I think it would be fun. Just spend a month on the water cruising canals. There's plenty of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on. Plenty. They very tightly control their brand. Yeah, I think it'd be cool, Brad. I actually started looking at prices because if you're renting long term, you can be better off. I don't know if it applies to the boats, but you can be better off buying something and selling it when you leave. Be really cool if it was a steam one. That'd be lots of fun. Now approaching Greenfield. If you're getting off here, don't trip over the step on your way out. Release brakes. Oh, there's another one of its sneaky brothers in the platform there. Yeah, we've definitely done it before. Cars and things. Cars are probably a little easier to get rid of, though. Yeah, Mr. Doof Doof got on. Keep back from the platform edge. Passing trains cause air turbulence. Turbulence. And my main tasks on the railway, they vary a lot. I'm qualified in